Welcome to the Coins Quest, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures that might just be sitting in your pocket change. And today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of rare coins, the legendary 1972 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent. A humble 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and enthusiasts by reaching an unbelievable value of $425,000 due to its extraordinary errors and rare minting mistakes that turned this ordinary penny into a numismatic masterpiece. Imagine holding a simple penny that could buy you a luxury car, pay off your debts, or even become the crown jewel of your coin collection, and yet most people have walked past it for decades, unaware of its incredible story, its subtle imperfections, and the mystery surrounding its creation at the Philadelphia Mint. The tale of the 1972 no-mint Mark penny begins with a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents every year, a process so massive that even the smallest flaw in the minting dies could produce rare varieties, and one of the most striking of these came in the form of the famous 1972 doubled die obverse error. The doubling on this coin is so distinct that even the naked eye can see the split images in the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date 1972, all showing a clear duplication caused by a misalignment in the die during the hubbing process. This was not a minor error, it was a full, bold doubling that caught the attention of sharp-eyed collectors who realized that such a dramatic mistake could mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing fortune. In the early 1970s, the minting process still involved manually creating dies by pressing a hub into a blank die multiple times, and if the hub and die were not perfectly aligned between strikes, the resulting die would have a doubled image that would then be transferred onto every coin it struck. The 1972 no-mint Mark penny became one of the most famous examples of this phenomenon, producing several known varieties of doubled dies, but only the most dramatic, known as the 1972 doubled die obverse, Variety 1, is considered the true jackpot for collectors, commanding hundreds of thousands of dollars when found in pristine, uncirculated condition. The incredible clarity of the doubling, visible on Lincoln's profile and every detail of the lettering, makes it one of the easiest errors to identify, and that has helped it become a legend in coin collecting circles. But the story doesn't stop at just the doubling. There are other fascinating details about the 1972 no-mint Mark penny that contribute to its high value. The Philadelphia Mint, which produced these coins, traditionally did not include a mint mark, meaning there is no D or S beneath the date, and that lack of a mint mark has sometimes caused confusion among new collectors, but in the case of the 1972 issue, it is a key identifier for the specific error variety that became so famous. Moreover, the rarity of finding one of these coins in flawless condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or circulation wear, is what truly drives the price to astronomical levels. Coins that were quickly taken into circulation often lost their sharp details, making the doubling less visible, and only a few examples have survived in mint-state condition, preserved by chance in collections or forgotten rolls of pennies stored away for decades. Imagine the excitement of a collector opening an old roll of 1972 pennies and spotting that unmistakable doubling on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. It's like striking gold in the world of numismatics. Over the years, grading agencies such as PCGS and NGC have authenticated and graded these coins, with top-graded examples fetching prices from tens of thousands to over $400,000 depending on their condition, luster, and strike quality. The doubling is so intense that you can see the separation lines on the letters, Liberty, and In God We Trust, without magnification, making it one of the most dramatic errors ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Experts believe that fewer than 20,000 of the strongest doubled die obverse coins were ever released into circulation, and far fewer have survived in near-perfect condition, which explains the jaw-dropping valuations at auctions. But what's even more captivating is the human story behind these coins, the accidental brilliance of mint workers unaware that their routine workday would produce one of the most desirable coins in American history. It's a reminder that even in a world of precision machinery and industrial consistency, human error and mechanical imperfection can sometimes create something truly special, something worth a fortune. Beyond the famous double die variety, The 1972 penny has other minor variations as well. Some show weaker doubling, some display slight misalignments or die deterioration doubling, and while these are worth less, they still attract attention from collectors who enjoy the hunt for subtle minting anomalies. In addition to doubling, some rare 1972 no-mint mark cents exhibit off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws that make each coin unique, and when these anomalies combine with the double die feature, the value can multiply dramatically. The coin's composition also adds to its historical charm. Made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, it carries that classic reddish-brown tone that collectors love, and well-preserved examples with original mint luster are especially prized. The reddish shine, when combined with sharp doubling, makes for an irresistible piece in any collection. Over the decades, countless counterfeiters have tried to replicate the 1972 double-die penny, but experts and grading authorities can easily detect fakes due to minute differences in font shapes, die markers, and strike details. That's why collectors are encouraged to have any potential find verified by a professional grading service, as authentication can turn a few dollars spent on grading into hundreds of thousands in value if the coin is genuine. The 1972 double-die penny is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of the thrill of discovery, a representation of how small details can lead to huge rewards, and an educational example of how the minting process works, from die creation to final striking. Every time a new collector hears the story of this penny, they are reminded that treasure hunting doesn't always mean diving deep into the ocean or exploring ancient ruins. Sometimes, it just means checking your spare change carefully. The story of the 1972 no-mint mark penny has inspired countless people to start collecting coins, sparking curiosity about other rare varieties such as the 1955 double die, the 1969 double die, and the 1995 double die obverse. Each of these coins shares a similar origin story, a small imperfection during the die creation process leading to a coin that captures history in a rare and beautiful form. What makes the 1972 no-mint mark penny particularly special is the combination of its dramatic doubling and its timing during an era when coin collecting was surging in popularity. The early 1970s saw a wave of public interest in coins thanks to reports of valuable pennies being found in circulation, and the 1972 double-die penny became one of the most talked-about discoveries of its time. Magazines, collector clubs, and newspapers featured stories about it, and hobbyists rushed to check their pocket change. Even today, the excitement hasn't faded. Online auctions frequently feature these coins, and prices continue to rise as pristine examples become harder to find. The record-breaking sale prices of top-quality specimens, some reaching $425,000, reflect both the rarity and the enduring appeal of this coin. Collectors prize it not just for its monetary value but also for its historical importance and aesthetic beauty. The doubling creates an almost ghostly shadow effect on Lincoln's face, giving the coin a unique visual depth that sets it apart from any ordinary cent. Beyond its appearance, the 1972 no-mint mark penny teaches valuable lessons about quality control, technology, and chance in manufacturing. The mint's transition to new die-making techniques in later years reduced the likelihood of such dramatic errors, making coins like this an irreplaceable part of numismatic history. There's also a sense of nostalgia tied to the era. The early 1970s were a period of change in America, and the Lincoln cent remained a symbol of unity and history, bearing the image of one of the most beloved presidents in U.S. history. Finding one of these rare 1972 pennies feels like holding a piece of that era's story, a tangible connection to the past. Many collectors who own one of these coins speak of the thrill of discovery, the moment of realizing that a simple penny could be worth more than a luxury home, and that thrill fuels the passion that keeps numismatics alive today. Whether it's the crisp doubling on the letters, the bold split in the numbers, or the way the light dances across the coin's surface, every detail of the 1972 double-die penny tells a story of craftsmanship, chance, and discovery. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin. Today's story takes us to another stunning chapter in the history of American coinage. The mysterious and highly sought-after 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, a coin so deceptively ordinary that countless people have spent it without realizing they were holding a piece of numismatic gold worth up to an incredible $307,000. Imagine that, a simple penny, struck half a century ago, that could today pay for a luxury house, a fleet of cars, or even an entire college education, all because of its rare and remarkable minting errors, its limited surviving population, and the fascinating quirks of history that make it one of the most valuable coins ever to leave the U.S. Mint without a mint mark. This is not just a story about copper and zinc, it's about human error, mechanical imperfection, and the unpredictable magic that turns ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. The 1975 no-mint mark penny comes from a time when the Philadelphia Mint was producing billions of coins per year, each one seemingly identical, each carrying the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, yet hidden among those billions was a rare handful of coins struck with unintentional flaws so significant that they became legends among collectors. The most notable of these 1975 errors are dramatic die misalignments, double strikes, weak strikes, and in some cases, incredible doubling similar to earlier iconic varieties such as the 1955 and 1972 doubled dies. Though the 1975 issues are far rarer and often harder to identify because the doubling is subtler and sometimes occurs in unexpected areas of the coin. These accidental masterpieces came about due to slight mechanical misalignments during the die hubbing and striking process, when the die was either rotated, shifted, or mispressed, leading to duplicated images or distorted details that make each era coin a unique fingerprint of the mint's machinery gone awry. Some 1975 no-mint mark cents show faint but visible doubling on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date itself, while others have off-center strikes that leave parts of the design missing, creating oddly shaped blanks that drive collectors wild. A few even exhibit die cracks that stretch dramatically across Lincoln's face or the reverse side, creating what collectors affectionately call cut errors, where a piece of the die breaks off, leaving raised blobs of metal that look like scars on the coin's surface. Each of these defects tells a story of imperfection turned into beauty, of accidents transformed into fortune. But what makes the 1975 no-mint mark penny truly special is its combination of rarity, historical timing, and collector appeal. The year 1975 was the calm before a great numismatic storm. The following year, 1976, would see the U.S. Mint produce special bicentennial coinage to celebrate America's 200th anniversary, drawing massive attention from collectors and the general public. Because of that upcoming celebration, many people overlooked the ordinary-looking 1975 pennies, assuming they held no special significance. Little did they know that within the mountains of ordinary copper coins were a few extraordinary pieces that would later command life-changing sums at auction. The majority of 1975 cents were struck in Philadelphia, which, at that time, did not use a mint mark, distinguishing them from coins made in Denver, with a D, or San Francisco, with an S. This lack of a mint mark, while standard for Philadelphia issues, actually adds to the mystique of the 1975 no-mint mark penny, because the mint's era coins were distributed widely across the eastern United States, mixed in with billions of normal cents, making them almost impossible to find without meticulous searching. The excitement around this coin grew over the years as collectors began reporting strange varieties, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and even transitional errors where some coins appeared to have been struck on planchets, coin blanks, intended for other denominations. These transitional planchet errors are among the rarest of all, where the coin might be struck on a slightly lighter or heavier metal disc due to a mix-up in the minting process. For instance, there are rumors and authenticated examples of 1975 pennies struck on dime planchets or foreign coin blanks used in test runs, each worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. The most famous 1975 no-mint mark era coins, however, are those with strong doubling or full off-center strikes that leave a crescent of blank metal visible on one edge while preserving most of Lincoln's portrait on the other. These are considered some of the most visually stunning mistakes in U.S. coinage and fetch jaw-dropping prices among serious collectors. When you consider that a perfect, uncirculated 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln cent with a dramatic error can sell for up to $307,000, you begin to understand why so many people have become obsessed with checking their change, examining every penny under magnifying lenses, hoping to strike it rich through patience and luck. The psychology behind this hunt is fascinating. It's not just about money but about the thrill of discovery, the feeling that you might uncover something everyone else has overlooked for decades. The 1975 no-mint mark penny embodies that thrill perfectly because it looks so deceptively common. It hides its extraordinary nature beneath the surface, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to reveal its secret. The doubling on these coins, when present, can be seen most clearly on the obverse side where Lincoln's profile meets the inscriptions, often showing a shadow effect on his nose, jawline, or coat collar. Under magnification, you might notice ghost-like outlines of the letters in Liberty, or a clear split in the date numerals, especially between the 1 and 9. The reverse side can sometimes show doubling as well, particularly in the words United States of America, or E pluribus unum, though reverse doubling is much rarer on this year's issue. Then there are examples with die cracks that run through the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, forming what collectors sometimes call spiderweb or lightning bolt cracks, depending on their appearance. These cracks, while technically minting flaws, create visually dramatic and unique patterns that turn an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind piece of art formed by accident. In some cases, the 1975 no-mint mark penny also shows evidence of misaligned dies, where one die was slightly off-center during striking, resulting in uneven borders or partial design cutoff. The greater the off-centering, the higher the value, particularly if the date and design remain fully visible. Coins that are around 10 to 20% off-center but still display a full date are extremely desirable, while those that are even more misaligned can reach astonishing prices at auction, depending on eye appeal and condition. Another feature that adds to the 1975 penny's value is its color and luster. As these coins were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, they develop varying tones over time, ranging from bright red, RD, to reddish brown, RB, to full brown, BN, and collectors prize bright red, mint state examples the most. The difference in price between a dull, circulated coin and a glowing, lustrous red uncirculated specimen can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's also worth noting that very few of these coins were saved in uncirculated condition, as the 1970s were not a period when collectors hoarded new pennies in large quantities. Most were spent or stored in jars, enduring decades of wear that dulled their surfaces. This scarcity of top-condition examples magnifies their value exponentially. Some of the most expensive 1975 no-mint mark pennies ever sold at auction were graded by top-tier certification services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, receiving grades as high as MS67RD or MS68RD, meaning they were nearly flawless, with full original color and sharp strike detail. In those pristine states, combined with the right error characteristics, these coins have fetched up to $307,000 from eager collectors and investors. But behind the numbers and prices lies something even more compelling: the human connection to these coins. Every 1975 penny was handled by someone, passed from hand to hand in an era when gasoline cost less than $1 per gallon, when rotary phones and typewriters filled homes and offices, and when the American economy was in transition. These pennies witnessed everyday life, small transactions, and moments that have long since faded, yet a few of them carried a hidden flaw that would ensure their survival and fame decades later. The beauty of coin collecting lies in this intersection of history, art, and chance. Each coin is a time capsule, and each error is a stroke of fate.